In this video, I'll be attempting to spend over $1,000 on seafood here in Bangkok, Thailand. But first, let's back up. Bangkok is not the cheapest city, but it's also not the most expensive city. And so today, in my effort to spend over $1,000, well, it's gonna be quite a challenge. I always thought when I was younger, if I won the lottery, I would just eat so much seafood until I died. Now that I have so many of you hate watching my videos, I can finally afford to do something that crazy. Who's paying for it? Me, actually. Can I say something tragic? I'm a little bit irresponsible. I had a baby daughter. She was born without teeth. She needs dentures. And so I had to choose. Am I gonna eat $1,000 of seafood or am I gonna get my baby daughter dentures? Sorry, baby. I'm going with the seafood. And right now, I'm headed to my first location. Oh, I'm already there. This morning, we are starting our adventure at Thong Bui Market. This market is famous for having seafood and seafood restaurants side by side. So any seafood that you can see in front of you, you can get cooked immediately by somebody. Another note about today, we're gonna be having 3 levels of seafood experiences at 3 different price points. We're starting here, but then we're gonna be going to the Ministry of Crab, and finally, we're gonna be finishing at a restaurant where we're gonna be having a Michelin star seafood experience. But while we're here, let's get to it. Hello, good sir. I should wear more protective footwear like this man right here. Ah, very versatile. Right here we got some blue crabs. They look delicious. They do not look expensive. My target today at this location is to spend about $200. That crab's not gonna get it done. Ooh, but maybe this. Oh, a sea snail with its heel right here protecting the entrance to its lair. What is inside? I want to unlock the secrets of the shell. But not today. Right here we have an array of mud crabs. Big, beautiful, juicy claws in front. But later we're gonna be going to the Ministry of Crab where we're gonna find a colossal sized crab. It's gonna be amazing. Beyond that, there are loads of bamboo lobsters. Oh, it's a big boy. Actually, the water kind of magnified it a little bit. It seemed bigger when it was in the water. That's why I do all my first dates in a pool. Right here we have something very special. This is a horseshoe crab. Now their underside is extremely creepy. It's waving around its little fang. It's got 10 legs with tiny little claws at the end. It looks very disturbing. It's got little eyes in the front here. It can never see underneath its shell. It doesn't really know what's going on down there. Like me when I weighed 300 pounds. No idea. Is this an expensive item? Let's find out. How much is this? It's interesting, but it doesn't cost that much money. I'm trying to spend $1,000 today on seafood. Maybe we'll circle back later. Boom, over here we have some less lively seafood specimens. This is great for a Valentine's gift or perhaps an anniversary. Well, that's a whole ménage à trois plus 1. Right here we have something really special. I've never seen a mantis prawn this freaking big in my life. It looks just like a praying mantis out of the water. You can see its big buggy eyes, its arms, its claws. It's got extra arms. It's got all these little flippy flaps, a tail on the bottom. These things can punch you and they can hurt you. The mantis shrimp are some of the most expensive seafood you will find in this market. So we're definitely gonna get some mantis prawns and try them out. The Thai way. It's the Thai way or the highway. Flopping her on there. Ooh, it's 0.475 kilograms. It's a 1-pound prawn. I'm gonna get 4 of those, and that's a great start for the day. So right now we've got our first seafood course, the shrimp. I'm looking for one more thing. What has piqued my interest is these guys. This is the gooey duck. Excuse me, could I see your largest gooey duck? The seafood retriever has come to retrieve some seafood. He's gonna take a net to reach inside and pull out the absolute, I feel like it's not the biggest one. I think she's trying to give me the oldest one. Oh God, it's still active. This one's loaded. You gotta put the safety on. The trick is, before you weigh it, you gotta drain it of its life force. Come on, drain more. Trying to get more water out of there. Look at that shell. It outgrew it years and years ago. Meanwhile, it's got this whole appendage sticking out. It is not safe and secure at all, especially in my hands. I've got home video, bad ideas, and a half a bottle of Jack Daniels. Moving on. I'm curious to see how much this weighs. Now, it weighs 1.3 kilograms, $173. Very expensive, and actually much more expensive than I expected. Maybe I should get a medium-sized one. Wait, this is medium-sized? What the hell? She said this is medium-sized. I don't know about that. I would say this is... It's very big. All right, folks, now that we have our seafood selected, it's time to get it cooking Thai style. Step 1, wait for the oil to get hot. Step 2, bring the shrimp over here. He's cutting that into tiny little pieces. Wow. I'm a little heartbroken. I kind of bought these guys because they're gigantic, and now, look at them. There's nothing left to them. Meanwhile, I suspect our oil is ready. The time has come. He is putting the shrimp into the oil. Oh, yeah. Ooh, there's splattering, sputtering oil all over the place. Time has passed. The shrimp are finished. Now the shrimp go to the side, and he fires up the wok, baby. It's time to go to Flavor Town. We got chilies, garlic, and coriander hitting the wok, which has a nice slick of oil on top of it. Instantly, the smells, the aroma in here, it's so good. There's so many chilies. Next, he puts the shrimp inside. The chilies, they're killing me. 4 gigantic shrimp. He tosses them about. We have some soy sauce going on next. He hits it with a little bit of oyster sauce, sugar, salt, MSG, pepper, and that is all for now. Now he's back to flipping the prawn. He throws in some scallions next. From here, he's putting in garlic. And after a second of stirring it about, he says it's complete. And that dish is ready to go. Boom! Our first course is right here. It is confusing. I want to say it's a masterpiece, but it's more like a masterpiece in the way that a Jackson Pollock painting is a masterpiece. Before we continue, a couple of corrections. First of all, not a mantis prawn, it's a mantis shrimp. Second, the price. I thought it was going to be much more expensive, but it turns out the live ones are much more expensive, and these are kind of medium priced. So the total price for everything you see here is this much. Right here. He's already plucked it apart. All you gotta do is break it open and grab some meat, baby. Today is gonna be an epic seafood adventure, and it all starts with this. Maybe I built it up a little too much. That bite was okay. I ordered chili salt, but there's a lot more than chili and salt. It's definitely spicy, but there's an F ton of garlic on here. The texture is a little bit mushy. It feels like it didn't cook all the way through. Ooh, God. What's that, brother? There's some yellow part and maybe a poop vein. The muscle kind of turns purple instead of the typical orange you would see on other shrimp. It's more mushy. I'm going for the midsection here. Rip it open. Yeah, it is imbued with those delicious high flavors, but the texture is not doing it for me. Part of it could be that it was already dead, and who knows how long it's been in that styrofoam container. So from here, we're gonna head to our second seafood, that giant gooey duck. We're gonna head into the kitchen now and see how it's cooked. What's your name?
Taiyang.
Taiyang?
Taiyang.
Taiyang? All right, guys, right here I'm with Taiyang. It is time for seafood round 2, the gooey duck. Whoa! I like that a little bit too much.
To start off, the chef brings it to a boil. Next, he peels off its outer skin.
Oh, God, the outer layer, it's like a bris. Wow, most NBA players know that move, huh?
And now for some invasive surgery. He removes the shell, revealing a naked gooey duck. He separates its long neck and slices it into thin strips. Finally, only the edible parts are placed on the plate. Time for some flavor. Step 1, heat up some oil, then garlic, lots of it, Thai chili paste, and bell peppers. He hits it with a bit of water. From there, the sweet basil and spring onions. Finally, it's time for the gooey duck to join the mix.
Boom. The seafood easily slides into the wok.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's counting, but nobody knows why.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he barely hits it in that hot wok, and already he's ready to take it out. And that is how you make gooey duck Thai style. Thank you. All right, folks, we have our second seafood course of the day, coming in at around $173. It looks like a grenade went off in the gooey duck's house. As I dig through here, there are pieces of like the base of the ball of the clam where all the organs are housed, and then there's, you know, the phallus. Let's go for it. Texture-wise, he nailed it. It's not slimy, it's something right in between. It's got a tiny little bit of a punch to it. On the flavor side, not as much pop as you will usually find in Thai food. It has a certain sweetness to it that I really enjoy. I thought the chili paste was gonna be vicious. It just has a nice smoky, almost flavor to it. One thing that's awesome about that chef is he went off menu for us. So it's a bit of a new recipe he was trying to throw together. I think it's an accidental success. Me like it.
So far, we've spent $230 on seafood, but this accidental recipe is nothing compared to what's coming up next. Later, I'll be heading to an ultra-exclusive restaurant to try a massive creature infused with a bold Michelin-level ingredient, coming in at over $300. But first, we're heading to the Ministry of Crab. Wait, what?
Is it ministry? Why does that sound weird? Next, we're going to the Church of Crab and Latter-day Saints. Let's move. We have come to our second location for our second seafood experience here at the Ministry of Crab. I've been to this restaurant before, but I went to the original one in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, I got to enjoy the Ministry of Crab sitting across from the owner. It was an incredible experience. Here, they have that same great giant mud crab experience, but since we're in Thailand, they also have a Thai option of preparation. We're gonna go inside and see how they make it here and see what the difference is, but first, we have to meet our crab. Let's move. Right here, we have all the crabs laid out and lit up above the Ministry of Crab, and then the name for each size of crab. Now, it goes all the way from this a half kilo to a small, medium, large, XL, that would be me, to the killer crab, the jumbo, the colossal, the OMG, and finally, the biggest crab you could possibly find, the Crabzilla. Today, Harsha is gonna be showing me 2 different types of seafood. We're gonna build up to the crab, but they also have a Prawnzilla. Oh my God, this is gnarly.
This humongous freshwater prawn weighs over 1 pound. Compared to a normal prawn, it's like a shrimp hitting the gym for over a year straight. But even the prawn is nothing compared to this big boy right here, Crabzilla.
Ooh, oh my Lord. Take a look at that, my friends. Just 1 claw here would basically be a meal.
This 4.4 pound mud crab flew in straight from Sri Lanka, and it is big. The chef said males pack more meat, while females come loaded with roe.
This mud crab is so big you could actually even eat the meat from inside its legs. Plus, it's got a giant carapace, a huge head full of deliciousness. Meanwhile, it's all about this right here. This is the most sweet, succulent, delicious part of the crab. There is one thing we need to mention. How much is this crab?
10,000 baht.
$288. My God, very expensive, but it's gonna be worth it, right?
Yes.
We are in the kitchen. We have our whole crab. The crab is gonna steam for 15 minutes. While that's steaming, we're gonna get started on the garlic chili prawn. Let's do it.
First, we put the extra virgin olive oil, some garlic.
The garlic is starting to sizzle. Right here we have chili flakes. It gives it a little bit of a stir. The smells in here are amazing. This angle is not though. Next, we're going prawns. Ooh, look at these fatties. Just absolutely bathing in garlic and olive oil.
So now we put the chicken stock.
After 3 minutes, he reveals the prawns. From here, he gives them a little bit of a flip and he puts the lid back on.
We're gonna seasoning with Kikkoman soy sauce.
And by now you can see all that chicken stock has actually cooked out completely, and what remains is velvety olive oil. Good, he gives it a little bit of a taste. Hold on, that's my food. The prawns are finished and it's time to plate them up. Ooh, God, it looks so huge.
Gonna sauce on garlic on top.
And that is how you make the garlic chili prawn at the Ministry of Crab. All right, folks, course 1 has begun. It is a mega-sized mutant prawn. But before we jump in, let me tell you about the price. This is $100 worth of shrimp in front of me. I mean prawns, they're slightly different. It is an extravagant price, but it is an extravagant food. And we're gonna start with this. This is some traditional Sri Lankan bread. You got this sauce down here. You just hit it with a little bit of the bread and throw it back. Oh, it's spicy, it's oily, and it's garlicky. All those organs that are inside the head have cooked out of the head, and they've blended with that olive oil, creating this kind of deep seafoody flavor. The tail, it has shrunk down a little bit, and this is what I was talking about. This yellow stuff, that's what's giving us that seafood flavor in that olive oil. That is what I call a jumbo shrimp. Wow, that, my friends, is Prawnzilla, walking around Bangkok, destroying large buildings. On the thick end, it's a little softer, a little gooier. On the thin side of the tail, a lot more bounce and a lot more bite to it. It's excellent, and it's the perfect appetizer for what's coming up next, Crabzilla. After a nice steaming, it looks absolutely perfect.
So we're gonna make it Thai couple crab. So we add some garlic and this Thai red chili. So this is the mixture of chicken stock, oyster sauce, and soy sauce.
Wow, what a combination. It's time to add the crab. Ooh, starting with that gigantic claw.
So now we put the Thai basil leaf.
Finally, we're gonna thicken this flavorful sauce with some cornstarch. You're gonna give me a little bit of a taste? Oh, that's nice. You can taste a ton of sweet crabbiness. Ooh, and spicy too. To plate it, he starts with a dollop of rice. He puts the carapace down first on the rice, holding it in place. And basically, he's reconstructing the crab, only upside down. And finally, he dumps that flavorful sauce on top. My gosh, what a masterpiece.
We put fried Thai basil. It's done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Everything we've done in this restaurant has built up to this moment. The final crab, $288. Wow. Great instincts from the camera guy there. Part of the reason I believe it costs so much is because they fly it here from Sri Lanka, but not only are they flying it, they have to keep it alive. They put it in first class. They're probably giving it whiskey sour every 2 hours. That being said, we're gonna find out if it's worth the price. What I prefer to start with is a body bite. Cheers. Oh yeah, that is the best bite today by far. And what's interesting about it is, yes, this is a Sri Lankan restaurant, but it's in Thailand, and this is a more Thai recipe, especially with this fried Thai basil. Crispy. Meanwhile, if you're patient enough, there is a lot more stuff inside of there. The interbody pieces, this will take a high degree of time and patience. It meat. So I'm getting garlic, I'm getting chilies, and I'm getting that natural sweetness from the crab at the same time. This crab's gonna need multiple hip replacements. Ooh. I got a little shell in that one. Nice. But this mud crab is so big that it even has meat inside of the legs. Take out the tendon. Oh, yes, that's a whole quadricep right there. That's nice. Meanwhile, this is what we're really truly after today. The star of the show, the giant claws. I'm gonna pull this apart and reveal, yes. This claw is so big, it has human teeth. Have you seen these? It's got molars. And then under here, this is the crab's natural habitat. Cheers. Oh yes, excellente. He also put a trifecta. He put in like oyster stock, chicken stock. It's like a sponge for all those Thai flavors he put in there. You can see the grain of the individual muscle fibers in here. I'm gonna stick my finger in there and just peel that meat out. Delicious, sweet crab meats. Hijacking a plane with people on it? I don't get it. Hijacking a plane full of mud crabs? Semi-justified. It's this right here. I love it. Perhaps we have peaked early today, but it's hard to say because I've spent a lot of money. That said, so far today we have spent this much money on seafood, but I plan to spend over $1,000. And to get me there, we are going to a fine dining seafood restaurant that is Michelin rated. Is it gonna top this? Let's head there now and find out. At last, we've come to our final destination right behind me, Sipon Seafood. This is a very unique concept and something you won't find a lot. It's not a normal restaurant. You have to book and they have only 3 rooms. So you have to plan ahead. You have to know how many people are coming, and it's always a private experience with 1 or maybe maximum 2 chefs in the kitchen making things happen. Today, we have 2 dishes we're looking forward to and 1 massive creature from the ocean that we're gonna go inside and discover soon. But first, we're gonna meet the chef who's gonna be cooking up all the food for us today. Right here, I'm with the owner's son. He is a chef, and his name is Tony.
I'm Tony, sir.
Nice to meet you. Please show me around. First, this room, which might have actual people in it. Oh, and the customers are still here. That's awkward.
This room like for
Hi, everybody.
12 person.
Right now it's holding 4. So you're going to eat.
Yep.
All right, enjoy your meal. I'll be here.
Sure.
Okay, great. So it's really like a house.
This one, another room for 20 person.
Inside this room, what makes it most notable, I guess, is that there's a giant ship where you eat, and inside the ship there are exotic sea creatures like a sea turtle. This is not where I'm eating. There's one more room. Okay, we're going back downstairs. So now on the way to the last room, we're actually walking through the kitchen. Right here, the smallest room, most cozy, meant for 6 people. This is where I'm gonna be dining today. So, you've seen the restaurant, now let's meet the food. Right now we're in the kitchen and we have 2 different types of seafood that we're gonna be trying today. First of all, a big pomfret. Can you tell me, where is this pomfret from?
This is silver pomfret from south of Thailand.
I thought you were gonna say from the local aquarium.
Nah, from
The zoo. Then we have another guy. This massive beast, where is this one from?
From Australia.
Australia has lobsters like this?
Of course, sir.
An 8-pound lobster that he's gonna be cooking up in a Thai style. Let's get to it. So we got our guy right here, the giant lobster, and he is heading over to meet the Punisher. This is the Punisher. Oh wow, he's getting shivved as I speak. Did that lobster owe you money? He starts by removing the tail. Oh, the lobster trying to get a little last-minute revenge. Right here, you can see the tail split in half, and that is a lot of meat, my friends.
While the Punisher does his thing, the chef turns to the silver pomfret. First, he places the fish, scored on both sides, into the steamer. After 30 minutes, the juicy fish is perfectly cooked and ready to plate. Now for the flavor. I've been told this is the chef's secret sauce, boiled for 10 hours. He separates the sauce from its ingredients, heats it in a pot, and places a strainer on top. That's the weirdest lid I've ever seen. Next, the vegetables. Hit the wok with a bit of oil, then toss in everything at once. String onions, julienne ginger, chili peppers, and ginkgo seeds. Add a bit of Chinese liquor, a quick flip, and it's ready. Sauce first, then the veggies. Finally, he garnishes it with Thai celery, and this masterpiece is ready to be escorted to the table.
In a moment, I'm gonna be eating a giant 8-pound lobster, but first, a giant silver pomfret that weighs 6 pounds. I'm told that the more common pomfret in Thailand is the black pomfret. This is the silver pomfret. This is a more rare fish. This one here is coming in at $227. I think we might go over $1,000. I wanna peel back some of this vegetation to reveal that beautiful fish. Oh yeah. That is a massive chunk of pomfret meat. So I wanna hit it with a little bit of the sauce, a little bit of ginger. Let's go for it. Slightly flaky, the skin very fatty, super delicious. So actually the silver pomfret is prized for being one of the few non-fishy fish. And I can tell you something, when I eat it, not fishy, but a little mushy, kind of sticky on the teeth. That said, the flavors all around it, outstanding. And then you've got this sauce. What's even in it? Oh wow, that's absolutely delicious. Savory, sweet, mysterious. Don't ask me what's in it. The chef won't tell anybody. I just don't know, actually. So the pomfret is expensive, but the lobster, it's gonna be the most expensive thing we'll try all day. Now that whole lobster has been reduced to little bitty chunks, and then we're gonna sniff this. No. Oh, he says no. No way. I'm gonna get him fired from his own job, and his dad owns the place. So he puts some cornstarch into the body of the lobster. At last, he starts by putting the head in the oil. He is spooning the hot oil over the lobster head. He gives it a little bit of a flip, and already the color has changed dramatically. It is time for the lobster head to come out and drip dry. Now he's taking the claw, he's putting some more cornstarch around it. That's gonna make it nice and crunchy, like a battered fish and chips. Next to the small claw slides in, and the big boy. At last the claws come out, and finally we're getting to the tail. Give it a little bit of a coat of cornstarch and toss it in. He's watching it like a hawk. After just about a minute, he takes the tail out and it looks like that. Meanwhile, we're building a plate over here. We've got a head and we've got two claws situated next to each other. And here the tail joins the party. Now the knuckles or the forearms join the platter, and the last piece makes the platter complete. This is a giant fried lobster, but it needs a little bit of
yellow curly.
The chef starts off with this pre-made yellow curry sauce, a rich creamy blend of milk, yellow curry powder, soy sauce, oyster sauce, sugar, and butter.
He puts the yellow curry sauce into a blazing hot wok. He puts in a little bit of milk. The aroma in here is amazing. It is sweet, it's sugary. I love it. Finally, the yellow curry going atop the entire gigantic 8-pound lobster.
I have to put whipped cream.
What is happening? He's literally putting whipped cream on top. What?
Yes.
And then now you're putting,
Thai sorari.
wow.
Finish stove.
I feel like I'm in a fever dream. That's amazing. I can't wait to try this out. Everything we've done today has built up to this moment. Me, alone in a room with this lobster, a private room. The lobster, you can't go anywhere, buddy. I've never seen anything like this when eating curry. It smells like caramel popcorn, which is a wild flavor profile to have with a giant lobster, but it's quite fitting for this giant dollop of whipped cream, which has gone a little bit flat. The obvious place to start with this would be here, a fried lobster tail, and it's been coated with some of that curry. This is so strange. I'm gonna pull it off the fork and handle this by hand. Let's go for it.
People might think that I'm always in the background giving you tissues or other things.
Mainly just in my hotel room. Can I say something? I don't hate that. It's a strange combination, but it tastes amazing. It's salty, you're getting the natural sweetness from the lobster. Euphoria, really. This is a Roselle Supreme confectionery topping. I thought this is the first time he ever made this, and then next year, he's definitely off the Michelin whatever. But it turns out, he's made this before. The only thing left to do is to have Calvin try it. Lobster, yellow curry sauce, a little bit of professional whipped cream. Oh, there you go, Calvin. God. That's a big bite. That was too big of a bite. You need it. Trust me, you need it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Calvin, what do you think?
It's not so much of a sauce, more like a glaze. Whipped topping is not natural. There's no dairy in there. That is all preservatives and lecithin. But the sweetness from the whipped cream and that super umami punch sauce, I don't hate it.
I want to hate it.
Sonny, is this a new flavor profile that we've never had before?
Oh, that? Yeah. It's a brand new flavor profile. The lobster, it weighs 8 pounds. The price, $346. By far the most expensive thing we have tried today. It's hard to say, is it worth it? I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime culinary experience and something I will remember forever. This morning, as I lamented the fact that my child was born without teeth, I also set a goal for myself. A day to eat over $1,000 of whatever I want from the ocean here in Thailand. And I have done that. Time to add up the price.
And face the consequences.
Thank you. I will need that. Boom! Today I started out with the mission of spending over $1,000 on seafood here in Bangkok. And I tried to do that at 3 different locations. We started at the local market, a very humble origin story, where I had 2 different types of seafood that added up to this amount of money. Cha-ching, it's on the screen probably. And then we went to the Ministry of Crab. Wow, 2 different dishes. All of that together, this much, cha-ching, it's on the screen. And then we went to one final location. It's like some guy's house. We got 2 dishes there and they cost this much, cha-ching. Did we indeed spend over $1,000 on seafood? The answer is yes, my friend. We spent $1,191. And I was doing research. It turns out babies, they're born without teeth. It's normal. So I'm feeling doubly happy. Throughout the day, I tried 6 different seafood dishes. I want to tell you right now which one was my absolute favorite. It was the giant lobster that was topped with whipped cream. There was something innovative and playful about the recipe that I really enjoyed. So that was the $1,000 seafood challenge. I have gout now. But if we did this challenge somewhere else, where do you think we should do it? Let me know your thoughts downstairs in the comments. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. Time to go fishing in the toilet. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm leaving. Bring the lighting guy with me. Walk with me. I want to be lit as I walk. Thank you. God, I have great lighting right now.